hiking, but we kind of freaking went to this freaking discovery thing on accident. Oh, shit. Who knows where this place is? There's doors.
Alright guys. So down here we're actually going to have a photo opportunity. So I'm actually going to section you guys off group by group and send you forward to get your photo taken.
I'm good.
Alright. I'm going to have you guys wait right here while we focus the camera.
Ooh, it feels good in here.
I'm dropping stuff. Yeah, you put them in the hard pocket. You have more bigger pockets than I do. Oh.
Yeah, the rainstorms over there. This is making the weather super windy.
It feels good out in here, actually.
Yeah, I can hear the water running. Oh, what's that?
What's that?
There are crystals all around the wall here.
Oh, let me see. Get away.
The
Mostly
way.
in this area though.
It's like
We also have some over here.
Oh, we have more.
Oh,
Look in there.
I don't have internet. Ooh. I blocked with a selfie.
Yeah, there you go. You close it then.
Oh, Chris Rice.
What's up?
If we die, we're dying together.
Whoa, turn the lights on.
Whoa, look up down!
Whoa.
Whoa!
That's nice.
There's
Oh,
water
look
flowing.
up down! It's up! Whoa!
I know, right? Chris, come on, Chris.
Hey.
This cave is not good for social distancing.
Big one, there's a small one.
Chat.
Oh,
Oh, it's cold.
look up down!
This water's cold. Oh my
I know.
god.
Imagine
Careful,
it's,
guys.
it's
Open cave just as cold.
Oh, yeah?
A water
Wow.
cave, fighting color, the water
Also,
cave.
continue with your paper.
Yeah.
oh, my apple.
Sorry, careful, Chris.
Oh shit.
It's so tight. I don't know how you did that. Like, put all the metal poles in here and all the cement.
It took a lot of time to put it up.
Yes, ma'am.
But in reality, it only took years.
Oh, yeah?
Didn't it just take a year?
Yeah.
Wheels,
I mean, we had a big team, so a year is a long time.
Wow.
It's wet and everything.
So far, you're using a water horse's head.
No, they didn't want to animals are at.
Do y'all not have swimsuits or something?
Oh, careful, Chris.
That's what I get for being tall.
Yeah, Chris, you want
Your head, are you alright?
Yeah, he damaged the rug. Does that mean he goes to jail?
No.
I'm gonna show my phone here,
I'm
chat.
being tall.
Hey,
That's
Jack.
what I did.
Hey, Chat.
He never.
Whoa, feels good. Sit in the box.
I did it. I don't need my butt wet.
But I want my butt wet.
You know what?
Okay.
Can I just stand up?
So currently we're standing in what we call Pluto's ante room.
Whoa, look up.
Now, this room right here actually spans approximately 110 feet beneath the natural bridge. Now, this room was actually the first room that the discoverers went to when they came through the Discovery Crawlway, which you're actually going to be able to see right back there. Now, again, that crawlway does span around 120 feet out to that bear pit area that we came in from. And when the discoverers came down into this room, they saw all of these dark-looking speleothems, and they thought they looked a little scary. They thought they looked like the underworld. So they named this room after the Roman god of the underworld, Pluto, an anteroom because by definition, this is going to be one of these smaller rooms that opens up to much larger rooms later on tour. Now, on this side of the cavern system, you're actually going to be able to see a lot of different looking speleothems, or formations as we call them. Now, all of these formations actually have names, so we categorize them based on how they form as well. And these guys up here are what we call dripstones. The ones coming from the ceiling to the floor are what we call stalactites. A way to remember them is that they have to cling tightly to the ceiling. And the ones growing from the floor to the ceiling are what we call stalagmites. A way to remember those is that they might reach the ceiling. Typically, when a stalactite or a stalagmite reaches either the ceiling or the floor or meet together in the middle and they form this tall little structure, we call those columns or sometimes pillars. Now, for the other formations, the flowstones, we have these little guys right over here, and right over here. So on this wall, you're actually going to be able to see what we call cave ribbons. Now, all of these little strings that you see going along the edges of the wall are actually caused by the flowing of water. As a continuous stream goes over any part of the cavern system, it will deposit calcite and over time form these little string-like structures. Eventually, those little strings or cave ribbons will begin to hang off of the cavern surface, as we see up here in this corner in some areas, and of course over here in some areas as well. When those occur, we'll call them cave curtains. Now, if you look over here, you're going to see a cave curtain that touches both the ceiling part or the floor, and it looks like it comes around halfway up that wall, and that is actually what we call cave drapery. Now, cave drapery is, to qualify as that, it has to touch, again, the ceiling and the floor. Now, before we move on, are there any questions on this area?
No,
No?
it's a little wet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it does get a little wet. Yep.
Why did I go for one?
Purple?
Oh, yeah.
So these black spots that you see around the ceiling are actually 5,000-year-old bat roosts. So around 5,000 years ago, 5 to 15,000 at least, we used to have a large colony of bats that lived in this side of the cavern system. We since then have thought that they migrated north to Bracken Ridge, where they now reside, with that really large bat colony.
Now,
yeah.
now the bats that go over there.
Yeah, the bats live over there, but these dark spots are actually, because bats are mammals like us, they have those acids and oils. So whenever they stuck to, or the roost that they made, they would leave these dark discoloration patches. And with bat life, this also means this dark stuff over here is going to be bat guano. No, just a little bit. Yes.
All right.
Like that.
So I guess
All right.
keep
Is there
on
any other
going.
questions? No. All right, you guys can go ahead and follow me forward.
Be careful. They're gonna fall off. That's why you have rails. See? Hold on to these, and you won't go anywhere. I'm gonna duck down a little.
Shit.
Come on, let's go.
Let's go before I get wet.
I know, lots and lots of water.
Just turn around.
It actually takes around 20 weeks for water to come into the cavern. So all of this water is being cold. Cold water. It's filtered naturally through the lights.
It rained too, so that could be like the cause. Oh damn.
Hey, as long as we don't slip and fall. Yeah, you're
You gotta go certain
to
way.
be honest, I like that. I like to live down there. Check my own home down there.
Dun, dun, dun. Hey, what else there? Have they always fucking got you?
Oh man, they're gonna
Alright guys, you're gonna have to watch your head over in this section, especially for my taller folks.
Yeah?
Yeah, Chris, it's out.
Just saying, you know, we've had accidents in the past with this tour.
Yeah, that's like 5 minutes ago, before I hit my head.
No warning sign. Caution.
No, that's just one thing. Oh, that's nice.
Kind of dark. Everything dark, Chris.
I think I'm We're not trying.
You guys can actually take a seat on any of the benches. Sorry. Good.
I'll do you. I don't want. Can I eat it from
Oh my God. Where is
No,
it?
we can't eat in here. No, just water.
Just water, just.
deepest point that you guys stand at today on tour, spanning approximately 180 feet beneath the natural bridge. Now this area actually gets its name because when the discoverers first came down, they entered through the switchbacks that we just entered from, and they actually saw these formations right here. One of the geologists that came with them was actually an English major. So he saw these little structures, thinking they looked like tree trunks, the top looking like treetops and foliage, and these lower ones looking like lower treetops as well. And he saw a giant forest. His favorite book at the time was Robin Hood. So he actually named this room after the famous tale Robin Hood and its very own Sherwood Forest. Looking at the bottom right here, you're going to notice a lot of tall, skinny stalagmites growing from the floor. Those are what we call broomstick stalagmites. Now, you're also going to see a large column here on the left-hand side. That column is going to be the second tallest column in the entire cavern system. We actually call that the totem pole. Now that particular column stretches around 32 feet to the ceiling, and it also has an 8-inch diameter. Now, for the rest of this room, you're actually going to see these cracks along the ceiling. Now, if you see this crack right here, this is actually what we call a joint. Now, the entire cavern system had to form somehow, and that's actually because of these cracks or joints. When a fault line occurs, it can actually break the surrounding limestone and make spiderweb little formations, which is how we get these cracks on top of the cavern system. Over time, around 120 years ago, the water which was on the surface actually began to drain down into this room. And as the water drained through those cracks, or again joints, it began to carve out these cavern spaces, and eventually all of the water that filled this area drained into a lower cavern system, which we now call the Glen Rose or Edwards Aquifer. Now, down in the Edwards Aquifer, it looks very similar to Abyss that we're standing in, except it's full of water, and the cities above it actually use it to filter the water as a natural source for the cities above. Now, you're also going to notice these layers in the limestone. Now, around 120 to 160 million years ago, this entire area was actually a shallow, warm sea where Texas is right now. Over time, different sediments and rocks collected at the bottom of that sea and compressed over time to form what we call limestone. And you can see the layers of what you can see in all of the limestone around us. Now, you're also going to be able to see lots and lots of different looking formations in this area that may not be exactly what we described in the previous room, but all of these formations actually occur in the exact same process and in the exact same way, and again, that's with water. Now, as water goes through the soil, it picks up carbon dioxide, which creates a weak carbonic acid, and this weak carbonic acid will make its way through tiny little capillaries or holes in the limestone. On this wall in particular, you can actually see a lot of these tiny little holes which water could have came in through or seeped through as well. Now, as the water comes down, it will actually pick up a mineral called calcite in the limestone layer itself. This forms what we call carbonic acid, or weak carbonic acid with calcite, also known as calcium carbonate. Now, when the calcium carbonate enters the atmosphere of the cavern system, the carbon dioxide is released as a gas, which is why the air might feel a little bit thicker down here. But the water deposits the calcite mineral, which then crystallizes over time to form pretty much everything you see in the cavern system around. Now, that formation rate is approximately 1 cubic inch every 100 years, or around an ice cube size every century. So looking at a lot of these tiny little formations that we see all throughout the cavern, they may not look like much, but they are going to actually be hundreds and hundreds of years old. Now, are there any questions before we continue? Yes?
The whole thing was a dragon, and he would have destroyed.
A dragon? So this area right over here is actually named the Fairy Castle. So when the discoverers came down into the cavern, they would just point at stuff similar to how you are. And they're like, oh, that looks like a castle, that looks like a dragon. And typically that's how they name most of the rooms and most of the formations which have specific names. So fun fact.
Alright, that's cool.
So going forward, we're actually going to be going over this little area back here. It's going to be what we call Purgatory Creek. It's going to be the deepest area that we see today on tour. Wait for me.
Hold on, you gotta wait for the
Now,
girl.
this area does span approximately, let me check, 211 feet. Now, this area, we're actually going to be crossing it with a 132-foot bridge.
Guys,
And this 132-foot
come
bridge,
this way.
fun fact, was done in one continuous concrete pour. So construction underground. Fun fact. All right, you guys can follow me.
Yep, I don't want to drop my phone. Turn on the lights. There it is. This looks like a Minecraft. Minecraft, you got like mine, like diamonds and shit. What that one? You got the heads, Vince.
Careful your head, Chris. You need your head bigger.
Like I said, I'm not gonna take any chances.
Yeah, you can't take the chances.
Made that mistake twice.
Yeah. God damn. Gosh, man. This is bad. This is cool.
It is beautiful.
This is a big ass place. So are you not afraid that might fall? Like just like the other one?
No, so when calcite crystallizes, it's very, very dense and also very hard. So even some of these smaller formations that you see along the ceiling, it's actually going to take a lot of force to break them. You might even have to take a jackhammer to it.
Or an earthquake.
The only thing that are going to be really fragile are going to be the very, very thin and hollow stalactites that you see along the ceiling. We call those soda straws, but they're going to be the hollow ones, which they look pretty even. They're going to look like this batch right beneath behind.
Oh, that's right here.
That right there?
Are you recording this?
Yeah, look, I'm recording all of it.
All right, guys. So this room that we're entering right here is actually what we call Castle of the White Giants. This is going to be the first large room that we see today on tour. This is also going to be the second largest room that we have in our entire cavern system. This room spans 150 feet beneath the natural bridge, which again we use as a reference point. And this room is also 150 feet long, 50 feet tall, and 50 feet wide, also nicknaming this room the Castle of the 50s.
Wow.
Now, the Castle of the White Giants gets its name from these three white structures that we're going to see in front of us and go over further on. But the first of the three that we see is going to be this tall column right in front. Now that tall column is what we call the watchtower. Now that column is going to be the tallest column in the entire cavern system, of course spanning that 50 feet tall, but this time it has an 8-foot diameter, which makes it extremely, extremely old. Now, are there any questions before we make our way into the room?
No, I wanna go up there.
The jellyfish?
There's no
This one or
jellyfish.
that one?
Those two.
So later on, we're going to see what we call the Mount of the Landlord. I get a lot of guests telling me they look like a jellyfish. This one was actually named the Bomb Burst. So if you remember, the people who discovered this area, they came in, pointed to things, and started naming them based on how they looked. Now, when they found this area, it was actually 1960. So they looked at this bomb burst, and they thought it resembled the atom bomb, which was very popularized during that area. So they named it after the actual burst of an atom bomb, rather than a jellyfish.
Monkey?
I don't see the monkey part.
I don't see them.
I don't see the
You
monkey
guys
part.
can go ahead and call. But yeah, these little formations right here
That looks like sand.
Again, these don't have deformations right here.
Six feet, 6 feet, 6 feet.
If we die, we
So if
die
you remember
together.
again, these three white structures are actually what this room is named for. This middle structure is called the Mount of the Landlord, what we saw in the corner way back here. Now when the discoverers saw this particular structure, they saw all of these holes along the side of it, and they thought they resembled apartment windows. They also saw this little guy right here, and they saw the stalagmite thinking it looked like an angry gnome, or in this case, an angry landlord coming
Wait,
to
which
collect
one?
rent. This little corner one that's a little chubby. Now,
Oh, okay.
they were, of course, really broke college students like myself. So they named it the Mount of the Landlord, kind of to signify that angry gnome and their own angry landlord that always comes to collect rent. Now, on the right-hand side of that, we have this third structure. This is what we call the King's Throne. Now, this structure right here was actually named because it looks like a giant throne or giant chair fit for a king with a little footrest and a village down below, hence the name the King's Throne. Now, moving forward, we're actually going to go down and around this little corner back here, and we're also going to be able to see what we call Grendel's Canyon. Now, if you remember, one of the discoverers was actually an English major, so he actually named Grendel's Canyon after the famous tale Beowulf and the monster from it, Grendel. Now, they named it that because that was the actual passage that they took into the following room that we're going to be going through. Now, when they went through that passage, they were covered in mud and bat guano. They came out smelling absolutely horrendous, and they hated the experience, so they decided to name it Grendel because they figured some evil monster from Beowulf might want to live down in a wretched area like that. Now, unfortunately for us, we're not going to take that same passage. We do have stairs that will make our way up and forward into what we call Emerald Lake Passage. Now, this next passage that we take is actually named due to the color of the water right in front of us.
It looks clean.
It is actually completely pure. So, on the ceiling, we have a lot of limestone. As water seeps in, it will actually naturally purify itself to get down into our cavern. But sometimes the lights, typically when it's a lot more full than it is, but the lights will actually have a green tint to the water, which is actually caused by the refraction of the synthetic lights on the water itself. But again, this water would be entirely crystal clear. However, we would not recommend drinking this portion because over many, many years, people have thrown in kids, tour guides, and coins, making this water a little bit unclean and unsafe to drink. So yeah, there's that.
That's messed up.
So they actually threw in tour guides in here?
I have been pushed into this.
For real?
pool. I did. I gave a tour of third graders. I think my
No
first year working
way.
here.
And they just went,
Well, yeah, if you've ever had a third grader, I mean, when one of them gets a bad idea, they all get a bad idea. And third graders in hordes are much more dangerous than any single adult I know.
were you mad?
So, I mean, I was a little perturbed. I do say.
One more question. Was it cold? How cold was it?
How cold?
What do you think?
It was chilly. It was, I want to say, like room temperature water. When you stick a glass of water out on the table, it's not cold per se, but it is.
I
like,
would think it's
chilly.
really cold. Like, have you been to Barton Springs?
I have not.
No? Oh my god, that's like cold water.
No, it's actually not that cold. It's not warm, but it's also not cold. It's chilled. So in the fall times, when it rains a lot, like prolifically, this room as well as Sherwood Forest that we just came from will actually fill up with water. And sometimes they'll let the tour guides go swim around in the water. So that's always fun. Yeah. All right. Are there any other questions before we continue?
No, that's it.
All right. If there's no questions, you guys can actually follow me.
Oh, there's nobody drowning.
How much? I want to work here, bro.
You want to
Yeah. I want to swim in the water. Clean water. Probably cleaner than my faucet water.
Oh, that's why you know why nobody wanted to go down there.
Wow. Super nice.
Have anybody? You've been down there though, right?
Me personally, no, but my mom.
Well, I take that back. It's a tough way getting up.
Who's doing that light? I am.
I've been working here for 3 years, but I'm trained for both sides of the farming business. So for the past few months, I've only been giving tours on the southern half of the pasture, and I've been away at college since December. So this light is showing you that I have been like
You're going too slow. Go faster.
I think the car comes with 11 years. That's 2013.
It's a big place. Yeah, I'm taking this there. Whoa. I'm tired already.
Oh, this is actually a pathway that we take during what we call our aquifer tours, when the lower parts are actually full of water.
Down going up?
No.
No. They're doing construction in that area, but...
Construction. Oh, they are.
Whoa.
I love the lake. Oh, look like a lake. I know, right?
These stairs are killing me.
At least you're getting a workout.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna pay $50 every time to come in
Nope.
to get a workout. What is this? Oh, look at that light.
I should work out.
Oh, he actually lives down here.
What?
Yeah, he's one of the cave trolls. Sometimes you
Hey.
see them spread out in their
What's
rocks.
up, cave troll?
You might see one in the next room.
There's a cave troll.
They live off the cave crickets and frogs down here. Very nutritious.
I would love to live down here.
Yeah, me too.
This would be a nice cave bat. So I can be like Batman.
No way, Jack.
I'm Batman. You know I'm Batman.
And after that, like just walk
Back up,
over
guys.
here, and after that, we go like
feet.
under, after that, go out.
Back up.
So how many times have you been through here already?
What do you mean?
Like this cave?
I've given this tour countless times, but this particular light system is really, really new. It was actually finished up in the last few months, maybe 3 months. But again, I've been at college.
That's why you're messing up.
Another troll.
That's why I messed up
A
with the
little bit.
little.
I was back for spring break.
Another cave troll.
I was
during the entire
I was
spring break,
figuring
I
out I was figuring out like how like you talking and it goes where you're talking. Like I didn't know what it was until I saw it.
And magic.
Yeah.
Hi, cave
Yeah.
troll.
What are they doing?
Steam it?
Oh, well, don't mess it up.
Ow.
Oh, that looks like it's really low. Oh, not that one. Oh,
She got some advantage. She's
nice
so tall.
caution.
No, it's a light show experience.
Careful to your hips.
I think your light system's broken.
Okay. So as you guys enter, this little area down here is actually going to be Grendel's Canyon. Now, if you remember back in Castle of the White Giants, we saw all that mud that was labeled Grendel's Canyon. And this is actually where it exits from. So the original discoverers would actually have to come all the way through there, down, and all the way back up. This is actually going to be the second deepest part in the cavern system. Now this is going to span 207 feet, while as Purgatory Creek only spanned 211. These are relatively the same depth, but again, we're not going to go that deep today on tour. Currently, we're actually standing at the bottom of the Hall of the Mountain King, as you see up here. Now, looking all the way to the top, this is actually going to be
Damn, I can barely see
the
it.
largest room that we see today on tour. This is also going to be the last room that we tour. Now, this being the largest room on tour, it is also, in fact, the largest show cave room in the state of Texas. Now this room currently spans around 350 feet in length, 100 feet wide, and 100 feet tall. Now, because the ceiling in this area is so much taller than the ceilings in the other portions of the cavern system, we are going to get a new type of structure all around this room. Now, essentially what happens is when the water drips from the ceiling, it will actually hit the ground or surface beneath it at a higher velocity. This higher velocity or higher speed is actually going to force the calcite to deposit in a more dense portion wherever the calcite lands, creating a small little yellow circle. Now when that water droplet splashes from that yellow circle, it will also deposit calcite where it lands, leaving a white ring around it. Now because of the yellow circle and white ring, we like to call these little formations fried eggs, because they resemble a bunch of little fried eggs throughout the entire cavern system. Now, going up the Hall of Mountain King is also going to be the most strenuous part of the tour today. So if at any point in time you guys need any assistance whatsoever, again, my name is Joy, shout that, or feel free to stop and take a break. If you don't want people to know you're stopping and taking a break, just stop, take a few pictures, and we're never gonna know the difference, I promise you that. Now, are there any questions?
Well, now they're gonna know the difference.
Yeah? I mean, no, why would they know? All right.
We'll take some pictures.
If there's no questions, you guys can actually follow me all the way up.
Matthew, wait. You can't let her.
Yeah.
Let the lady go. Let the lady go.
Smart kid.
Wow. From tiny one, the smart kid to
Let's
know
just go.
everything. Hold on tight, don't trip.
Oh, but I can't see anything.
Hey, if somebody falls without light, how does that even work?
No way, Chris.
No way.
Chris, you don't think they'll do that.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
There you go.
Better. And not quite what we're looking for.
It's okay.
All right, I'm so sorry, guys.
It's okay. We'll give you that.
She's cheating.
I am cheating.
There you go.
All right, let's go.
I feel like you just from one control to two dollars.
Well, again, it's a very new light system and very comfortable.
Oh, this is cool.
Don't touch it.
Don't worry. I won't put that on my YouTube channel.
Oh my god.
I already have one already. It's real.
Definitely, I'll put that on the YouTube channel.
I'll make it a fail video for you and I'll send it to you.
In my defense, some of the remotes have been
That's all the way up.
malfunctioning, as well as the lighting circuitry system.
It's all that
We
water.
did have a briefing on this morning. So it could have, not been.
It's probably the water's fault.
You need to make it waterproof. Ugh. Man, this shit.
That's exercise, huh?
I'm tired already.
Is there exercise? How are you tired?
Is there cell service in here? Is there cell service in here?
There's actually no cell service in front of us.
So if
my
we get
God.
if
We
we
like to joke that the only cell service you're going to get is crickets.
I feel like this should be on the ground
Oh,
service.
I need to take a picture. Nah.
It's easier coming up now.
Yeah, but I'm tired. Yeah, this is my workout. Oh yeah.
You got it, Jose.
Look at that, guys.
No.
God.
I did the back.
Out and out through that little discovery crawlway, which we saw in the beginning. Now we don't, believe in human torture, so you're allowed to exit right here. After you guys reach the surface, it's also going to be a 1/4 mile walk back all the way to the cavern pavilion area that we entered from, and you're going to be able to buy your purchases along that little 1/4 mile walk back as well. So yeah, bye.
Bye.
My name is Joy. If you enjoyed it,
Thank you.
Can you help us?
So are you gonna go with us or are you gonna go
I
back?
actually am going to be the last one to exit the room today, just to make sure everything's working properly and to make sure no one
We
stays
don't know
alone.
what.
Okay.
What is it?
All right, thank you, man.
Thank you.
But I'll just follow you guys back.
Chris is gonna definitely leave.
Yeah, this is all. Oh, that's good.
Look at this.
It's all small.
No running. Well, guys, I guess that's it. My freaking phone kind of went on the blank, so I don't know if you got the other part. But see y'all next time. How'd you like the tour?
I liked it. I want to live in it.
You want to live in it? You want to be one of those cavemen?
Damn right, I want to be
Me
too.
and
man.
him. We got to be cavemen.
Yeah. But how did you like it? Like, tell me what you liked about it.
Hey, look at
Give me what you thought in the moment.
In the moment, the big cabin. Was it lake cabin? It was nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna build a house in there. I was thinking go back and start building a house.
No, I don't think I could do that. But I mean, I like the tour. I mean, I'm gonna try
Or
to.
I could find my own cabin and build my house.
I wanna see if there's like another open area to that cave.
To me,
That probably is.
I like it.
Right now, we're probably on top of the cave.
On top of the cave.
Yeah.
Just drill a hole.
Just drill in and go in there.
What do you like?
What about you? How'd y'all like it?
I like the good chat.
The what?
They liked it. He liked it good.
I say I like the tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause I don't know,
You never been in them.
cause I like the rocks and right the rocks. There was rocks in there and
Rock formation.
Rock
I like the
formations.
boy.
Something new. I liked it. It was something new.
So now me,
I haven't
like
been there
the
since I was
walk into
6,
the
so-
boy.
I don't know.
And this wasn't here before. It was just a cabin.
I liked it. It was a good tour. I mean, it showed us a lot of what this cave is. There's obviously 2 more tours that I want to do, but right now I can't. But
Hey, Chris,
maybe in the future, maybe we can do it, Chris. Right?
Me and you?
Yeah, us
Me and
too.
you? Yeah, me, you, and Joe. Joe has to pay for himself.
Yeah, Joe has to pay for herself, cause yeah. But I mean, I want to do the tours. And we're probably going to, but not right now.
after here.
And in the near future, maybe in August, we could come back and try it out for ourselves.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm gonna peace out right here, guys. Y'all take care.
We're gonna
We're
where
alright.
gonna eat at?
Bye bye.
See?